Hey Sandy, just wanted to show you a couple of things that we did to the wheel while we had it. Steve re-glued the hub, so now this is good and solid. It's been clamped and it's all ready to go, so it doesn't wobble within itself anymore. He also straightened out the drive axle, which was bent on the side. We replaced one of the leather maidens, one of the leathers in the maiden. This seems to be an original leather maiden over here, so it may be somewhat friable, but we did treat it with some leather conditioner. A couple of things I wanted to make you aware of. We took everything apart, lubed it up, got it sanded and cleaned and that sort of thing in places. It still doesn't have a finish on the wheel. But what you want to do is when you, Steve, could you come around here? Whenever you put the flyer on the wheel, you want to take your drive band behind your two fingers, and that is a single piece figure 8 drive band. You want to loop it kind of over here on your finger, then take the end of the axle and slide it into that maiden. Then you want to turn this front maiden out and set that end of the tube in there. Then you want to make sure that these two maidens are absolutely perpendicular to the drive wheel. So they're pointing absolutely straight off. They're not twisted, canted, turned in, bumping this tube at all. So then you want to take one of your drive band loops and place it over the whirl. Can you get a good shot of that? Over the whirl, and one over the one over the bobbin end. And I like to have them cross underneath, but you won't know where it's going to cross until you spin once or twice. I'm going to go ahead and get this leader out of the way, turn it a time or two, and see where it wants to end up. So the cross is underneath the drive band, which is where I want it. Then I'm going to go ahead and spin on it for you for just a little bit. Steve, do you see where I laid that? Oh, there's that fiber. Okay. And I need an orifice hook. Hold on one second. Thank you. Orifice hook is over there. Hold on. Nothing's ever where you need it to be. Okay, one note about this little tube orifice. This is called what they call a train whistle orifice, and it means it's got a hole into that center tube that's part of your axle. The only tricky thing about this wheel is that triangular cut on there. It has a tendency to catch some hairier fibers if you're spinning something pretty hairy. So you want to watch that. And you'll notice you'll get to where you can feel or hear that spinning wheel catch if something kind of gets in the way of it or gets caught in it. And I'm just going to go ahead and set it to spin. It may not like spinning on this floor instead of on a nice rug. And I'm just adding a little bit of tension here. Oh, I added a lot of tension. And I'm going to try and start this spinning. Manage to get it all the way to the end there. Here we go. That's where I want it. So sometimes with these wheels that have little tiny hooks and little tiny orifice holes in them, things are going to get caught. You can hear these little knots getting caught. That's what I wanted to show you. If you spin along just fine and have no knots, it's not a big deal. But if you get a knot as you're spinning and you feel something kind of catch, that's what it is. Otherwise, this is a really sweet little spinner. Doesn't have any problems. It's got kind of an interesting little thud underneath my foot. I can kind of feel, but it doesn't groan, it doesn't creak, doesn't throw the drive band as long as you've got those maidens nice and evened up. The only trick is, like I said, is that little triangular cut notch in that tube, and that's the only thing that something like one of these slubs I'm sending down may catch on that, but you'll kind of feel it. It'll quit taking up and you'll realize you've got pigtails in front of your orifice. But there you go. That's my floor creaking, not the wheel. But there you go. Like I said, it's a nice little spinner. It gets the job done, and it's certainly solid as a rock. So there you go. If you have any questions, you feel free to holler at me. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.